Hi guys, so here's a division problem for you. So the division ones always seem to be a little more tricky because we have to break things down with division. So with multiplication, we're putting those groups together. With division, we're actually taking a number. So the number you're given in this first problem is 6 and 25 hundredths. And we're going to divide that into 5 groups. So it's going to look a little different than the multiplication because we're actually going to build the whole number first. So I'm going to draw that for you. Okay, so there's my picture. So I have 6 big cubes to represent 6 wholes. So 6 ones, so in the ones place value there. Then I have 2 flats to represent my 2/10ths and 5 rods to represent my 5/100ths. Now I don't have any thousandths in this problem, so I don't have any units, at least not yet. We'll see if that makes a difference later, because sometimes it does. So now I have to do my breaking up now. So I have this number that I want to break into 5 groups. So I'm going to draw my 5 groups and show you how I'm going to break this up. Okay, so I drew my 5 groups at the bottom of the page. I'm going to have to do some regrouping up here, so I left some space. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take my largest place value, so that's my ones place value, my big cube, and I'm going to place as many, if it's possible, and it is because I have 6. So I'm going to place 1 cube in each of my 5 groups, and I'm going to be left with 1 cube after I'm done doing that. Okay, so there's my 5 cubes that were placed in my 5 groups. I'm left with 1 cube. Now, I can't place that 1 cube anywhere because these have to be even groups, and if I put 1 in one of the groups, they're not going to be even. So now this is where my regrouping is going to come into play. I'm actually going to take that last cube and I'm going to break it down. So I have to regroup it into my next place value, which is my 10th. So I'm going to break that into 10 flats. And I would just show that by circling it, bringing it down and drawing those 10 flats. So now I'm left with flats. So I have 10 that I just broke down, and plus I have the 2 up here that were still part of my original question. So I have 12. So again, I'm going to have to do some regrouping here once I start dividing these up. So I can put flats now into my groups so that they're even. So I'm going to start doing that. Maybe I can do this in real time. So I'm going to start, I know that I can do 2 of each one. So I'm going to do 2 flats here. Here. There we go. Okay. So I used all of these. All of those are used. So I still have 2 left up here. So again, because I have 5 groups and I only have 2, I have to do some breaking down. So I'm going to circle these 2 and I'm going to break them into my next place value that's represented by rods. Okay, so I did that. I just took my 2 flats and broke them down into 20 rods. So now the last part of my question is I have to divide these part up, or these rods up between my groups. Let's see if we have any more regrouping after this. All right, so I now have my rods all divided up, and I had 25 rods, so 25 divided by 5 is 5, so I was able to put 5 in each group with no rods left, so I had no more regrouping I had to do here. So my answer is one of my groups here. So I took my 6 and 25 hundredths, broke it into 5 groups, and each group is left with 1 and 25 hundredths, right? So 1 is your big cube there. So 1 and 2/10ths and 5 hundredths. So your answer is 1 and 25 hundredths.